Good evening, everybody. Welcome on into some baseball here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. Pardon me. I'm Sean, streaming baseball 5 nights a week here in MLB 11, the show on the PlayStation 2, working through a 3-inning, 82-game season and having a good time doing it. We have some interesting matchups today. I'm going to try to figure out how they all piece together because I know they piece together. I just don't know how to describe it. We have one wheel spin game today, and I don't have my notepad up because I restarted my computer. Freaking frick. May 21st. That's our day. So, we spun the wheel and landed on the Giants and Tigers. That is kind of our wheel spin game. And then the next 3 games kind of work with each other in some form or fashion. We have the Pirates and the Blue Jays. Each of those teams chasing a team ahead of them. The Blue Jays chasing the Yankees. The Pirates chasing, I believe it's the Astros. Speaking of the Astros, they're playing the Angels. The Astros looking to hold on to first place. The Angels chasing the Mariners. Speaking of the Mariners are playing the Marlins. The Marlins are chasing down the Phillies. The Mariners looking to hold first place. So they all kind of come together at some point, or cross paths in some weird way. So that is what we are going to watch today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. If you're an older person who's been around, perhaps, maybe hit that. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. I'm just not off to a great start. I'm going to be honest. I noticed, actually, I don't think I slept super well last night. I did notice when I was playing Clutch Time, which I played earlier today on the Switch, I noticed that I was starting to get a little bit tired, and I was not super focused on what I was doing. So that's why I ended that stream when I did. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe not the most awake. Welcome to the Friday after the holiday. All the magic is gone. But for us, welcome into Detroit. Giants are 15-26. The Tigers are 18-23. We'll get to some of the other matchups throughout the weekend. I'll be back on Sunday. We're finally back on track, which is always nice. But we'll have new matchups Sunday and Monday as we are now in the back half of the season because the All-Star break just happened. Russell Martin's going to lead things off for the San Francisco Giants. He is the catcher. Mitch Moreland at first base. Carl Crawford in left. Ryan Zimmerman at third. Nate McLaughlin in center. Mark Ellis is at second. Chris D'Onofrio is in right field. D'Onofrio. Edgar Renteria at shortstop. Wilson Ramos, the designated hitter for the San Francisco Giants. Righty-heavy lineup. I wonder if it's lefty, but I don't think you'd leave those 2 lefties in that spot. It is a right-handed pitcher. It is Roy Oswalt, 5-4 with a 4.07, 9 games with 24 innings, 16-7-22. That pitch took a long time to get back, or the ball took a really long time to get back into his glove. He stood there like frozen to where I thought the game was broken. There's your Detroit Tigers lineup. That's kind of the weird thing about this game. That even happens now. It just kind of holds that frame, and then he gets the ball back. Which is weird. But here we go. Game number 1 of 4 today. Hopefully you enjoyed yesterday's All-Star game. I know it was a super short stream, but that's okay, because that was the only game that was available. And we'll have a short stream on Tuesday as well, as that is a 3-game day. Pitcher winds and fires, and that is low for a ball. That'll be the last non-4-game day until the playoffs, where things get real weird and wacky. 2-0. Here comes the pitch. It is hit well out to left field. Put a little bit of a charge into that one, but not enough. It's caught at the warning track as he runs into the wall. And that is out number 1. Pretty good ride. And Ibanez able to make the grab out there. Ibanez, who I think last time we had the Tigers on, I said, it's like, oh, look, a Seattle Mariner. I was like, he's not. I think he's playing for the Phillies at this stage in 2011. But he did play for the Mariners. I said that, and I realized I never checked it. Let's take a look at it. Raul Ibanez. Pictured in a Royals hat. Super helpful. 11 of his 19 big league seasons for the Seattle Mariners. Okay. We're good. We're good. That pitch misses low and outside. That is hit well and driven out towards center field, but the center fielder is there to make the catch. So we've gone to left field, we've gone to center field. Are we going to right field next? This pitcher giving up some loud outs, but I think he'll take that as long as they are outs. Detroit, I always forget, is one of the top-ranked teams in the game after the fantasy draft. And so it's weird to see them with such a bad record. I want to say the Yankees are one of the few teams that's like good record, well ranked, you know? We have a bunch of instances of teams either outplaying their rank or underplaying their rank. Cleveland is probably the best example. They're one of the lowest rated teams in the game, but they're currently in control of the NL or AL Central. That gets him to move his feet. Almost hits him, but it's just a ball. A harmless ball. 2-0 with 2 gone. And that is upstairs to make it 3-0. This has got to be a hands off the controller. Detroit has, I think, 2 former Mariners. Adam Jones in center. Oh, that's a good call. Adam Jones, I believe, in a Baltimore Orioles hat in 2011. That'll be rolled over, and the shortstop just dives over the top of it. It was going to be really tough for him to make that play. You love the effort. It's still one of those bad dives where they just kind of like leapfrog the ball. It's very weird. That gets driven into the ground. Ryan Zimmerman, 310 average. 1 on, 2 out. San Francisco looking to get off to a good start here. He'll drive that to the shortstop. And that will be out number 3. They must have put the runner at first in motion, because he had no shot at the play at second. Goes to first, and we are done with the top. Let's head to the bottom of the bottom half of the inning. It's Rafael Furcal leading off the shortstop. Ike Davis at first, Joe Mauer at catcher, Pedro Alvarez at third, Raul Ibanez in left, Adam Jones in center, Will Venable in right, Orlando Hudson is your second baseman, Matt Diaz is the designated hitter. Bum, 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 bum. Detroit with a ton of lefty hitters, by the way. A little string of 4, a couple of switch hitters, and just the 2 true righties. They'll be facing off against Chris Carpenter, 2-6 with a 6.30 ERA, 8 games, 20 innings, 28, 4-20. Not terrible, honestly. The ERA is not great, but 28 hits and 4 walks, 32 with 20 strikeouts. That balance isn't that bad. I think I wonder if he just has trouble getting that third out. And the San Francisco Giants are 500 on the road. They're 10-10. It's the fact that they're so bad on the road, or at home, excuse me. They're like 5-16. It is wild. But we'll see what this Detroit Tigers offense can do. Lions are out of the playoffs after a pretty ugly loss to the Vikings. Good news for me, Packers are in the playoffs, which means that the Jordan Love injury concern is fine. I just don't think I'll watch that game. That has a charge put into it. The center fielder with a bead on it makes the reaching grab as he struts toward the outfield dirt. The warning track is what they call it. And that'll be 1 out. Ike Davis batting .317 with 3 home runs, 5 RBI, and a stolen base. That's fouled away.
That's a foul ball.
Here comes the 0-1. That's in for a strike. Oh and 2. And that'll stay outside for a ball. We'll make it 1 and 2. Good eye there. And I do like the pitch from Carpenter. Trying to get that bottom of the zone, Just try to make it a little more competitive maybe on that outside. That one stays way upstairs. Easy take, I'm sure, for a professional hitter. And it is 2 and 2. Maybe this is Carpenter's problem, why he has such a high ERA and maybe not a great record. Can't find that third strike. That one's fouled away. Good defensive swing. And that one stays outside. Another good take by that Detroit Tigers. It's Ike Davis, I believe. Good take by him. Full count. Here comes the 3-2. It is swung on and hit up the first base line. A long at-bat ends in a pretty routine ground out, but still saw a lot of pitches, did a good job. He went down 0-2, worked it back 3-2. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer, .333 average, couple of home runs, 7 RBI, 1 stolen base. Minnesota Twins cover star. Here comes the pitch. That is low for a ball. Here comes the pitch. It is... That was a ball? No way. That was a ball? I mean, that must have something to do with the angle that we have, because that looked like a strike. I don't know how that was not a strike. 2-0 is the count. Wow. That gets the quarter. The count is 2-1. It probably should be 1-2, but I'm not a 2011 digital umpire on a PlayStation 2. Pitcher winds and fires. Bauer. Big swing, but foul. Here comes the 2-2. And that is low for ball 3. Full count yet again. It's only the second batter that this pitcher has faced, and both of them have seen full counts. Having trouble finding that put away pitch. Here comes yet another payoff. The first to Mauer. Mauer is going to get this popped up third base side. Will it come back in? No. 2 rows deep into the stand, so he'll stay alive. Payoff pitch number 2. That is high. Okay, so Mauer works a walk. And that'll bring up Pedro Alvarez, who has some stats that I should have read. 4 home runs, 15 RBI. That one's way upstairs. Two gone here. Oh, was Mauer in the 3 spot? Hold on. Was there a runner on first? What was the... Oh, that's right. It was a out to center field. That's why I was confused. Thought about swinging. Checked down to third. No. I forgot all about the first batter. My bad. Ibanez was a Mariner twice. First from 1996 to 2000, then from 04 to 2011. He was a Royal in between stints in Seattle. David, our head of research, all over it, giving us the fun facts. Thank you to him. Carpenter walks another batter, and this is what I was talking about. The walks and hits aren't the worst combination combined with the 20 strikeouts, 32 to 20, kind of that comparison or ratio. But I was wondering, I was like, okay, maybe he's having trouble finding that third out. And that's exactly what he's having trouble with. He's having trouble finding that strike 3 pitch, and he's having trouble getting out number 3. 2 2-out walks, and that will bring up Ibanez. Ooh, big swing, but foul. A couple of times the Detroit Tigers have had what feels like it's been a great swing that's just slightly off. That pitch misses outside. Or it's just the fact that this game doesn't have a lot of sounds off the bat. That is foul up the third base line. So Ibanez now with 2 strikes, a 1-2 count, 2 out, 2 on, and a scoreless bottom of the first. He will take that to the second baseman, who fires over to first in time. The walks get dangerous, but do not come through for the Tigers. The walks get dangerous for San Francisco. They don't come through for the Tigers. McLeod, Ellis, and D'Onofrio. Jones played in Seattle before being traded to Baltimore from 06 and 07. Oh, that's good to know. So McLeod will lead things off here in the top of the second inning. No score if you're just joining us. That is fouled away. Winds and fires. Third baseman, nice little snap there. Grabs it and fires over. And that is out number 1. Mark Ellis, a 167 average, 2 home runs, 7 RBI, 3 stolen bases on the season. They were in Seattle together for 2 years. Oh, okay. Now they're hanging out on the Detroit Tigers. As that pitch is a ball, kind of. Maybe that stance is a little bit funky. It looked like it probably would have gotten right at the letters, but it's 1-0. That's the second kind of head tilt, call that we've gotten. Ooh, that was a dangerous curveball. I'm sure that the hitter wants that pitch back. That misses way low for a ball. Open your eyes, Blue, is what they're saying. And that's up the first base line, foul. And that's outside for a ball. Oh, man. There are 2 pitches in that at-bat that he wants back, and that last one was one of them as well. A couple of curveballs that he definitely pulled that string on, but they looked so good coming in, and they didn't drop that low. Missed opportunities for the San Francisco Giants. And that is inside for ball 1. So 1-0, 2 gone. Top of the second, that stays inside for ball 2, 2-0. And that's a good take right there. It probably would have gotten me to swing because you see that curveball a couple of times in the previous at-bat, not drop quite as low. Though it should be more of a hands-off situation with a 2-0 count. Here's the 3-0. And that will be a 4-pitch walk. I'd say that last pitch was the best pitch, and it was the most competitive. And typically, on a 3-0 count, the zone does tend to get like a little bit wider, a little bit taller. Safe on the pickoff attempt. That one stays upstairs. Good take. That one looked much more like a ball than a previous pitch we've seen up in that zone. Righty winds and fires. That'll be hit right up the middle. Second baseman's going to scoop it. It's a fire over to first. That'll take care of the side. Just needed an extra step or two of speed there. That was a... I wasn't sure they were going to get that out. Jones, Venable, and Hudson coming up here for the Tigers in the bottom of the second inning. Righty winds and fires. Gets a strike call at the knees. 0-1. That is low for a ball. That is low for a ball as well. So now the count is 2-1. Makes that strike take look really good. That one gets the outside corner, makes it 2-2. Adam Jones hasn't taken the bat off his shoulder. Oh, and he makes him pay on that one. Adam Jones to left, no doubt about it. 1-0 Tigers. Wow. He got all of that one and very little fanfare to go with it. Will Venable batting .275. Carpenter has missed a couple of locations here and there. Jones finally able to get a hold of it. I had mentioned previously that the Tigers had been just a tick off. A couple of swings that they were able to get to, just the timing wasn't there. Jones made sure he got that one. Wow. That is a strike, so it's 0-1. That sails outside to make it 1-1. That'll be driven up the first baseline, foul. Righty winds and fires. That's inside for a ball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That is low. So the count yet again full for a Detroit hitter. Third off the top of my head. See what Carpenter does here. Oh, goodness gracious. He got all that one. It's back-to-back home runs. That is the pitch. He has been living so dangerously with that curveball. He's used it effectively a couple of times. Thrown the timing off. It's created foul balls. I get that. It was only a matter of time before someone got a hold of one. That was... Whew, that feels like a demoralizing home run. So back-to-back jacks for the two leadoff hitters here. And a 1-0 count to the next hitter is bad news for the Giants. We'll take a swing at that, and that'll be foul. Definitely late and got under it. And a swing and a miss. So strike two. Here comes the 1-2. That is fouled away.
Foul ball.
1-2 inside and swung on and missed. So finally out number one. A 2-0 lead isn't, I guess that wasn't very outside. Okay. It was a little more outside. That track isn't super accurate, I've noticed. Matt Diaz batting .267, a home run and 6 RBI on the season. Finally pick up out number one. 2-0 lead's not terrible. It's a bloop and a blast, and you're right back in it. I think the key here for Carpenter as he works through the rest of the second inning is to just keep it at that. And a 1-0 count doesn't really help that. Help the cause. Carpenter winds and fires. That's inside for a ball. That is at the knees. I don't know. It looked a little low to me. I think the one time, usually I complain about the camera being a little off center. The one time it does look funky is at least height-wise. It wasn't quite as low as I thought it was, but that'll be up the third baseline, and that'll be fair. He will keep it to a single, safely to a single. I am hitting every incorrect button today. Oh, I'm driving myself nuts this afternoon. Sean, please, just do that, and then there you have what you want. That's it. That's all you have to do. So 1 on, 1 out. The single means that the double play is in order. So we can keep that in mind. Best part about these streams, you get to watch me fall apart in real time. 1-0 to yet another batter. That gets the inside for a strike. Here comes the 1-1. That is rolled over. Second baseman underhand. Fires over to first in time for out number 3. That was a tight play up the first base line, but Detroit gets 2 solo home runs to take a 2-0 lead. It'll be Ramos, Martin, and Moreland coming up for the Giants. Last chance in the top of the third. Righty, winds and fires. That is high for a ball. The zone high and low today, a little funky. That is swung on and missed for strike 1 to even things out. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That is hit well into left field. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Should be an easy double. The throw is into the cutoff, and he'll walk it in to hold him to that double. So a good start here for the San Francisco Giants, and part of why it was such a key to keep it to just a 2-run lead. There's your bloop. Can Russell Martin get you the blast? He'll take that pitch inside for a ball. That will be hit well. That's out to left field. But the batter knew it was going to be caught. That will be sacrifice fly as he advances the runner to third. So Ibanez with a nice play. His hat looks like it's clipping into his head. Or he just ripped a little patch out of the side. Mitch Moreland steps in. Really? Moreland takes a strike looking. I don't know about that pitch. I don't know about that location. I should maybe clarify. That's a weird one to see. That is high and outside. It looked low to me. Just a little funk in the zone. It's 1-1. One gone, a runner on third. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I talked a lot about the San Francisco pitcher leaving those curveballs in hittable spots and really gambling and eventually losing. Whew. That looked like a dangerous pitch. That one's low. Might have dropped a little bit lower. It's tough to tell depth-wise sometimes, or most of the time. The righty is ready, winds and fires. That is hit. And they are just going to kind of surrender the run. The third baseman ran over to cover third base. Didn't even try to get that ball. It'll be interesting. I'll take a look at the live time replay. Crawford is up to bat. He probably could have gotten that. The thing is, if he tries to get it, how does he try to get it? Is it a dive? Does that matter in the grand scheme of like trying to get out number one, or is it the same kind of result, just a little bit different, dramatically, I should say? It's 1-0. Crawford takes a look. That is hit. It's going to be into left field. That'll be out number 2. It's Ibanez again. Okay. Which way does this game want to break? Zimmerman's 0 for 1. Teams that only get one out at a time typically are punished for only getting one out at a time. Defensively, at least. And that pitch is low for ball number 1. Down to their final out. Giants looking for a big swing, and they might have just gotten it. I might have jinxed everything for the Detroit Tigers. It is going to be a home run just over the slightly elevated wall out in right center field. It is a 2-run, 2-out bomb. Zimmerman comes through, and the game punishes the defense for only getting one out at a time. Of course, they didn't really give themselves opportunities for double plays, but they had one there. Whew. All right, 3-2. We swing to a San Francisco lead. So that'll stay upstairs for a ball. See if Detroit can respond in the bottom of the third. It's a good response inning for San Francisco. Gave up 2, they got 3. They're looking at a 1-0 count. Can they get a little insurance? Not going to do anything with that pitch as it is low. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. My goodness. Even as the commentator, my eyes are lighting up on some of these curveballs. It's a good take. It looked like it got right at the knees, but it just, they come in and you go, oh my goodness. Here's the 2-1. That is a strike. Maybe he would want that pitch back, take another hack at it. Or just got with the change in speed. So 2-2. Setting up way outside, and that will stay way outside. Feels like it's almost 50-50 on whether the pitch is going to break out or just curve back in. Here comes the payoff pitch. That will be into right center field. Right about the same angle that the home run left the field. It'll just... Oh, he's going for 3. It's a double that he's turning into a triple, running hard. That extra 90 feet and a runner in scoring position for Mark Ellis. That is in for a strike. Looks like he got a good chunk of the plate there. Ooh, he wants that one back. That was up there in the zone. That was a hittable curveball. Man. Oh, and he almost got that one. That is a couple of very dangerous curveballs. If you are the Detroit Tigers, you're probably looking at your pitcher. You're going, do not throw that again. Oh, man, that's an aggressive swing on the outside. San Francisco takes the lead. They swing a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 lead. 5 hits for them in the game. Davis, Mauer, and Alvarez coming up to the plate. See if they can keep this thing going for the Tigers. And the San Francisco Giants will head to the bullpen. They'll bring in Paul Mahone. He has 8 games with a 4-3 record, 6.10 ERA, no saves, 20.2 innings pitched, 12 and 9 walks and strikeouts. Don't love that. If those numbers were flipped, you'd go like, not great. It's not my favorite, but you can survive. 12 walks and 9 strikeouts feels like, oh, do you have confidence? Of course, you are working lefty-lefty, so maybe that helps things out here. Well, starting out 1-0 doesn't help, and that's what we have. In March, April, we're going to stream the March Mascot Madness Tournament. Yes, I will be doing that. And it will be a stream, yes. Right now, I'm looking at Fridays and Sundays. Yeah, it'll be Fridays and Sundays for that. So get ready. Prepare to get your brackets ready. That is a strike on the outside. The lefty winds and fires. That is outside for a ball. 2-2 here. And it'll be rolled over. Third baseman scoops it cleanly. Fires the long way across the diamond, and that is out number 1. Joe Mauer. Worked a walk. 0 for 0 with a walk, not a helpful statistic. You could just say he worked a walk. San Francisco walked the 3-4 hitters with 2 outs to Detroit in the first inning, but they did not come across has runs. That'll be driven to the third baseman again. Takes a little stab at it. Makes the catch and makes the snag and the throw over to first. Out number 2. Zimmerman the hero offensively and defensively. That's 2 great putouts in the bottom of the third inning, following a top of the third inning 2-run home run to swing the lead in their favor. Last chance for the Tigers. That is upstairs for a ball. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Probably left that one a little upstairs and a little more over the plate than he wanted to. I get you want to try to get that in the zone, but at the same time, like, oh, crap. That is outside for a ball. Three and 1. 2 gone. The wind and the pitch. That is a strike. So the Tigers now down to their final strike. It'll be a payoff pitch with 2 gone. They're down by 1 in the bottom of the third. Here comes the lefty. He winds. He fires, and it is a swing and a miss. The Tigers fall to the Giants 3-2. The Giants show us the very rare, like, actual save in the third inning. Like how the game theoretically would work if it had logic of like, okay, the third inning needs to be like the 9th inning and like that whole shebang. But they do it. They pick up a save. That's going to be Mahomes' first of the season. Ryan Zimmerman is the correct pick. Player of the game, 1 for 2, a home run, 2 RBI, 2 nice defensive stops in the bottom of the third inning. Chris Carpenter gets the win. He improves to 3-6. Roy Oswalt gets the loss. He falls to 5-5. Mahomes, like I mentioned, save number 1. Zimmerman's 6th home run of the season. Jones's 1st and Venable's 2nd. So if Detroit got anything, it was off of a home run. Otherwise, nothing of note. Adam Jones 1 for 1 with that solo shot. And that will do it for game number 1 here in MLB 11. Oh, I forgot to put the matchups in the description. Hold on, let me do that real quick while I kind of swap the thumbnail. Please stop cutting things, just copy. Let's view today's games, so we are going to head a little bit down to the Pirates and the Blue Jays. A couple of teams with 23 wins each, and both of these teams chasing down a team in front of them for first place in their respective division. The Pirates are chasing down, I think it's the Astros, and the Blue Jays are chasing down the Yankees. That is for sure. We will see the Astros a little bit later, and we will also see the we'll see the Astros later. That's what applies to this game. I got this notification or this screen. I got this screen earlier when I was grabbing the thumbnails, and I'm very worried about who the MVPs and the Rookie of the Years are going to go to. Because you have Brian Boguskovich, who has a 1,000 batting average, but no home runs and no RBIs. Like, what are we doing here? It's not going to probably be the most accurate. But we will welcome you on into Toronto. As the Blue Jays start taking on the Pirates, I already talked about their records. As the playoff push kind of heightens a little bit. A lot of the divisions are more competitive than I thought they would be as we work our way through the back half of this season. Nick Markakis in right field. Nick Johnson at first, Robinson Cano at second, Jose Bautista at third. The designated hitter is Seth Smith. Alfonso Soriano in left. Miguel Olivo, go Mariners, is the catcher. Crispy Young, Crispy Quick in center. And Ryan Terrio is the shortstop. There's a couple names that we get throughout these that I can't look at and read. It breaks my brain, but I know them. Ben Sheets is 3-4 with a 6.95 ERA. 8 games to 22 innings pitched, 26-5 and 18 hits, walks, and strikeouts. There's your defensive lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays. A team that I think as this season goes along and we look at their record, I think we kind of have to start to shed the narrative that they've been a little disappointing. They definitely were in the early stages of the season. But then you see that the Yankees, I think, are pretty well ranked as far as their team is concerned after the fantasy draft. And they do have a winning record. They have 23 wins. They're in second place in their division. They might hold the number 1 wild card spot, which I think is going to make it really difficult for a team like the Angels to get into the playoffs because they're going to need to keep winning. They're a few games back in their division, the American League West. That is hit to... Oh my gosh, it's hit to the second baseman who can't make the catch and he's safe at first. We have not seen that. We have seen bobble after bobble after bobble on grounders to third, second, shortstop, center field, right field. You name it, they've probably bobbled it at some point. We have not seen just a straight, right at him off the wrist to those positions. We saw one go through a wrist in the most unearned win we've ever seen. 8 innings of misery. That Twins-Royals game was. That pitch is inside. And the American League team will have the home field advantage in the World Series because that is how the All-Star game was. AL won 1-0. Spoilers, I guess, if you didn't watch yesterday's video. That'll be rolled to first base. So the grounder will... That's safe. Safe. I guess technically the grounder erases the error, but doesn't give them the 2 outs that they probably should have. It's a good hustle up the first base line. And that'll bring in Robinson Cano, who I don't think you would want to see in this situation. 1 on, 1 out. We've seen him hit a couple of monster home runs already this season. Ooh. That one's popped foul. And that'll be hit right up the middle. That is only going to advance the runner to second. Smart move by Pittsburgh, respecting the center fielder and the fact that the ball just didn't get super deep. Driven right back up the middle. Righty winds and fires. That is inside to Bautista. 2 on, 1 out for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's an interesting and kind of cluttered National League Central. Pittsburgh, Houston, and Chicago jostling for those positions. That one's outside. But they also kind of beat up on each other over the last week or two. So that's been a little funky as well. 2-0. Having 6 teams in that division means that I always forget at least 1, probably 2 teams. That's going to sneak into right field. They will again just play station to station, and it's a good call. I don't think you want to count on being able to jar the ball loose from the catcher. Seth Smith, he's batting .514. I think that's a double good move on their part. You don't want to force action where you're going to be out number 2, and then you bring in Seth Smith, who has a really nice looking average. Let him try to get you something. That'll be a good take outside, ball 1. 1-0. Bases loaded with one gone here. Seth Smith. Oh, man. That got all the way to that back wall over there. He wants another crack at that pitch. What a missed opportunity. It's a decent take. It's more on the outside part of the plate. I don't think you really want to swing and pop it out. Heyo. Hopefully timing isn't so bad tonight. No, you're good. Just started game number 2. Perfect timing. And swung on and missed. Oh, Smith goes down, and his excellent batting average walks away with him. As he cranked that ball foul. But it'll be Alfonso Soriano. 1 home run, 11 RBI. A couple stolen bases on the season for him. I think if you're Seth Smith, you want to flip those last 2 pitches, swing at that first one. I guess it technically would have been pitch number 3 of the at-bat or whatever. Swing at strike number 2 so you can let that one go. Wonder if Seattle would have made a World Series in the early 2000s. Kept Griffey. That is... Oh, it's going to be off. That's going to be a hit, and it's going to be a run scored for the Pirates. Kind of looked like it hit his wrist and smashed his mouth. Kept Griffey and Ortiz and Johnson a few more years. The roster they had in 01. Yeah, you would like to think so. I think that 01 team is so weird. That 01 team, I think everything that ever could have clicked. I don't know. You'd like to think so. But Griffey also... That is fouled to first base line. Did Griffey get injured in 01? He had a lot of injuries in the back half of his career. It's heartbreaking. Ken Griffey Jr. swung on and missed. I should have picked MLB The Show 10. We could have put Griffey in the game. That would have been cool. Just give me his Wikipedia or Baseball Reference. I think that's fine. That's foul. So can I get where's season? So let's see. 01. How do I tell is swung on and missed. So Olivo leaves the bases loaded. Pittsburgh picks up a couple of hits. Toronto gets charged with an error. That run does not come back around to score, but I guess technically kind of does also. That's weird. Curious, who was the Mariners' biggest contract ever? Ooh. That's a good question. I would not be surprised if it was Raleigh or Rodriguez. Johnny Damon's the left fielder. I bet David's on top of it. He's all over it. Our head of research, he's got it on lock. Johnny Damon's in left field. He'll be leading off. Andre Ethier is in right. Miguel Cabrera at first. David Ortiz, a designated hitter. Xavier Nady in center. Mike Aviles is at third base. Derek Jeter, shortstop. Carlos Santana, the catcher. And Juan Uribe at second base. I was trying to figure out how many. Oh, there's the games. There's the game. So 01. Daisuke Matsuzuka. There we go. All right, Daisuke. There we go. Right? Yeah, it's got to be Daisuke. Who I literally would have assumed his name was, like, I thought that was a nickname, not a joke. King Felix a bag at one point. Ooh, that's a good call. Matsuzuka is 4-3 with a 5.66 ERA. 8 games with 20.2 innings pitched. 19, 15, 11 hits, walks, and strikeouts. That's a good... King Felix is a great pull. So in 2001, Griffey played 111 games for the Reds. He played 70 in 02, 53 in 03, 83 in 04. So I don't know. I want to say yes. I want to say that the Mariners would have a World Series with Griffey and Ichiro and all those guys. But without the Griffey trade, like, I don't know. I want to say yes, but my heart's been so broken. Julio signed an extension worth between 210 and 470. What the heck? Why is that such a large gap? Largest Mariners contract with incentives reaching up to, okay. Oh, here we go. Robinson Cano got 10 years for 240. Julio's would have like a really large variance. Felix was 7 years, 175 million. Felix Hernandez again, 5 years, 78 million. Cal Raleigh was 6 for 105. Castillo, 5, 108. Robbie Ray, 5, 115. Oh, Kyle Seager is not on this list. 7 year, 100 million. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, because I didn't read it. That's on me. So I guess at the moment it'd be Cano. But Julio could pretty easily eclipse that. Alright, let's lock back in here. We're in the bottom of the first inning. It's like Miguel Cabrera's up. 1 on, 1 out. 1-0 Pittsburgh. And a 1-0 count. They will check on the runner. Safe. That is on the outside corner for a strike. I didn't realize how much they gave Robinson Cano. I don't think he was there for... yeah, obviously I don't think he was there for 10 years, but... That is... Ooh. So he gets the outside corner and then comes back, gets that inside corner. Couple of strikes to even up the count. So he played... He played for the Mariners, it looks like, for 4. 2014 to 2018, so 5. Then he went to the Mets in 2019. Ooh, Cabrera. Cabrera takes a pitch on the outside. It's strike 3 to bring up David Ortiz. His batting average does not look great. 2 home runs, 10 RBI. I think you want more out of Ortiz. And especially in the 4-hole spot. And that'll be hit out towards left field. Left fielder takes a look at it and makes the catch. Kind of just tracking that one off the ball from our commentator, Vista, or Vantage. He did look like he got under it just a little bit. We'll head to the top of the second. Young, going to lead things off. Crispy Young, crispy quick. He has 1 stolen base. Apparently that's good for 10th in the National League. And he will get under that one, drive it out to right field, and that will be out number 1. Why would you drop like that? There's no way. I literally just took a screenshot of the views and the average time. I click back on it and it's cut literally into a quarter. What? Boo, YouTube stats, figure out how to track this stuff. That is hit past a diving shortstop. He'll get on to first. So another hit for the Pirates. They're racking him up, but they're only racking him up in single form. No extra base hits. Oops. I don't want to minimize that window. I want to put that window on top of that window. That is a strike on the outside. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot that the Pirates scored a run. Kind of like Detroit, Toronto gets punished a little bit for only getting one out at a time. That's inside for a ball. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. They're going to put the runner in motion. He will... Oh my gosh! It'll be... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It'll be sailed into center field. And again, we've seen this a few times. The game kind of doesn't let the play out. I don't think he was going to try and go to third anyway, but... Like, as soon as the center fielder picked up the ball, it was like, and we're going to the replay. All right. That is in for a strike.
That ball is foul.
So foul ball. Runner on second now with a 2-2 count. That is way outside. Three and two. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he will take a look at that one for a strike. Second batter we've seen. It's not like he really got... I mean, it must have. It must have locked him up. 95-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Looks like that's in a pretty good hittable location. Pirates played the first inning similar to the Mariners last year. Load the bases with fewer than 2 outs, only to score 1 run. What a blown opportunity. Yeah. And he'll put a swing into that, but foul. Bounces into the crowd. That'll be fouled away. So 0-2, 2 outs, a runner in scoring position. Pirates have not looked good. They just have not looked good with those runners in scoring position. They loaded the bases, came away with 1 run. And the error did actually, come back to bite Toronto because it should have been out number 1. Instead it was an error, and then it was out number 2. Should have been out number 2. Man, what a... God, this Pirates offense. Xavier Nady is up, though. He'll lead off the bottom of the second inning. Dice K on the mound. That is at the knees for a strike. So 0-1 as he winds and fires. That is foul at the first base line. So it's 0-2. Swung on and missed, and that'll be a strikeout for the Jays here for out number 1. Oof, I'm way late on that. That pitch looked like it was outside. I think that's more of our angle than anything, but it is what it is. That is low for a ball. That is foul up the third base line. And under that one, out in front of home plate, catcher. Mask on and everything. Puts it away for the second out. Derek Jeter is going to come up. He's batting .294. He only has 1 home run and not a lot of RBI. If it keeps going like this, he's not going to have a ton of opportunities to do that either. That is upstairs for a ball. Swung on and missed. That pitch was inside. Whoa, how'd this stream get so far back? Goodness gracious. Here comes the 1-1, bottom 2. Winds and fires. That gets a strike. It's a nice location. And foul up the third base line again. And rolls that to the third base side. Fires across the diamond. That is out number 3, and that will retire the side. We'll head to the top half of the third. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Cano, Batista, and Smith coming up. Toronto only 1 hit so far in this game. Robinson Cano going to lead things off. As the right-hander gets ready, winds and fires. That'll be a ball. Okay. Looked pretty good to us here from the booth, but I guess it was a little more inside than we realized. Thought he got that corner. It's 1-0 to Cano. And he'll take a oh my goodness. He'll take a swing at that pitch that was on the outside part of the plate. Nice play by the Toronto Blue Jays third baseman to make the catch at the hot corner. We'll bring up Jose Batista with 1 away. That is outside for a ball. And that one easy to see. Kind of a no doubt. That is in for a strike. And Batista is going to hit that past a diving third baseman. He made a nice job to make the stab at third base on the hot corner, but dives over the top of that one. Batista's going to get on first. One third baseman beats another third baseman. It'll bring up Seth Smith. That strikeout dropped his average all the way down to 500. As he works with a runner on. Pittsburgh looking for a little insurance here in the top of the third. Smith swings at that and rolls it foul. He had a really nice piece of contact that went foul his first at-bat. And boy, if he had made contact or kept it fair. Oh boy, he might have done it anyway. That's going to get to the wall. A right fielder will come up with it. Do they throw the runner around third? No. And by throw, I mean wave. Wave the runner around third. It's a smart choice. I think the Pirates have done a good job with their base running. Their hitters just haven't come through in those big critical moments. That was a ball that got all the way out to the right field fence very quickly. The right fielder was over there ready for it. Give Soriano an opportunity. You don't want out number 2 at home plate. You can't possibly trust that the contact's going to jar the ball loose. Give Soriano a chance, and he'll take a ball with pitch number 1. That's outside for a ball 2. Here comes the 2-0. Soriano. Nice patient at bat here. 3-0. I mean, it's got to be hands-off controller. Lines and fires. That's a take. That's the correct move. Here comes the 3-1. And Soriano. Oh, they're going to go home with it. It's going to be a collision. It'll be out. Out at the plate. The Pirates, I complimented their base running all game long. I hate that decision. Oh, and the catcher might be injured. They're going to have to pull him from the game. He is indeed going to be injured. They're going to put in a new catcher. It's Rob Barajas? Barajas? Okay. Miguel Olivo. And I mean, that's why it's so dumb. Like, you're just injuring the catcher 1, which is stupid. And an a-hole move. Right? But it's out number 2 at home plate. I know the runner advanced from second to third, but you can take the out at first and leave 2 in scoring position. All Olivo would have to do is get it into the grass. You get 2 insurance runs instead of just 1. Here comes the 1-0. Oh, Olivo thought about it. They will not check down at first. Typically those aren't swings, but you never know unless you appeal. You got what you got for me. The righty nods in approval of the pitch that he has selected. Comes inside. That'll be a ball. Barajas. 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 Haas. Assume. Thank you. I don't know about that one. That pitch seemed inside. That seemed real inside. Either way, it's 3-1. And that'll be low for a ball, so works that walk anyway, and it's bases loaded. Crispy young, crispy quick, he is coming up. Pirates looking for a little insurance. Second time today they've had the bases loaded. Young takes a strike right at the knees, 0-1. Readies, winds and fires. That stays upstairs. Good take. Count is 1-1. Swing on. What? Swung on and missed. Swing on and missed. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. It is rolled over to the first base side. Cabrera steps on the bag, and that will do it. So Pittsburgh has amassed 6 hits. They only have 1 run. They have had the bases loaded twice. It is like I am playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is brutal. Bases loaded opportunities not working out in their favor. The thing is, like, I'm okay with, like, trying to deke the throw home, but you don't need to go try and contact the catcher like that. It's just a weird decision in my opinion. So it's 1-0 Pittsburgh, as that is in for a strike, and it's down to the Blue Jays' final 3 outs here. Good games on both of them so far. He'll take that pitch for a ball. Fortnite didn't exist in 2009. That's inside for a ball. The original Fortnite came out in like 2017. And it was pretty objectively a failure until they took the Battle Royale mode from PUBG. That is fair up the third baseline. Just sneaks it past. Should just be a single, and that's what it will be, as it rolls slowly out to the left fielder. There's your bloop. The blast would send him. What do you mean, not really? You ever played Fortnite once? I've only played it a couple of times. The Simpsons map was admittedly pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not a Fortnite guy. That's in for a strike. So it's 0-1. 1 on with nobody out. That's fouled back to the Topps advertisement in the backstop. Have you played any more Midnight Suns? Walk-off. That's driven into left field. Toronto will work station to station. So now the tying run at first, the winning run, or the tying run at second, excuse me, and the winning run at first. God, I wonder if this is going to be one of those games. The Pirates have had the bases loaded twice. All they had to do was score 1 or 2 more runs, give themselves that little cushion, but they came up so empty in those situations. That is a ball. I don't know, like Call of Duty Battlefield games used to be good, but they started falling off around Battlefield 1. Yeah, I have not. Who's the last? I can look. I end up playing the Call of Duty betas, but I didn't do that this year. What's the last Call of Duty game I played? Probably I'm going to guess Modern Warfare 1. Oh, I played a little bit of Black Ops 6, but I fell off that pretty quick. That is high and outside for a ball. I played more Call of Duty than I realized. I did play a bunch of Modern Warfare 2 to celebrate 15 years of that game last year. Played some more Midnight Suns, pretty fun. I like the friendship dynamics and the XCOM battle style. Good. Glad you're enjoying it. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be into center field. Will they send the runner around third? They will not. Okay. I kind of like the decision, honestly. I've been complimenting Pittsburgh all game long. You got to compliment Toronto. It was kind of a slow roller out to center field. It was a good throw in. There's nobody out. There's no reason to have out number one there. Winning run is 90 feet away. You have so many different ways to get him in. Cabrera will take a strike high and inside. That'll be rolled over. They will. Well, they don't really have anywhere to go. It's going to be safe. It doesn't matter. The winning run scores. The Blue Jays win 2-1. One team takes advantage of a bases loaded situation, and a team doesn't do a great job with two bases loaded situations. Dice K will throw his glove at the wall. As his that umpire froze. Look out. Bench Sheets. He went 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts. He improves to 4-4. Daisuke Matsuzuka falls to 4-4. I want to finish my Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough first before I really dig into Midnight Suns. Fair. So the Pirates out-hit the Blue Jays 6-5, but the Blue Jays outscore the Pirates 2-1. We're going to pop a quick save here before we jump into our third game. I actually might hop up and take a BRB real quick. Actually, I will do that. Let's go. Actually, hold on. Whoops. Options. Save. Come on. The power of the PlayStation 2. Alright. While this saves, I'm going to hop up real quick. We'll be back in just a minute with more baseball. BRB, everybody. All right, let's jump back into some baseball here. Thanks for hanging out. Bop that on. Bop that back. Schedule. We are moving on to Houston Astros, Los Angeles Angels, a series that... Oh, I actually need to catch up on scores. Haha, just kidding. Padres, they beat the Yankees 6-3. Giants over the Tigers 3-2. Braves beat the Mets 2-1. And thank goodness I made that note because otherwise we would have had to watch Karada, which sucks. It would have sucked. Cardinals over the Red Sox 2-0. We watched the Blue Jays beat the Pirates 2-1 on a walk-off fashion. We are going to head down to the Angels, taking on the Astros, which would have been a novelty. I mean, look at the Astros. 29th overall, second in pitching, third in pitching, 10th overall. The Angels are just barely above 500. Then we have the Mariners, who are at the top of the American League West, with like the 30th pitching. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, I gotta fix the thumbnail real quick. Bop over here. Bop in here. Scroll down there. Change right there. Hit that there. Save that now. Analytics. Bop. Welcome on into Los Angeles and the Angel Stadium of Anaheim. 21-20 Los Angeles Angels taking on the 23-17 Houston Astros. Pittsburgh fans rooting for the Angels in this one. Toronto fans rooting for the Astros. Here's your starting lineup. It's Sean Figgins at third base. Skip Shoemaker at designated hitter. Matt Watson in left. Carlos Quentin in right. John Hester is the catcher. Billy Butler at first. Colby Rasmussen center. Omar Infante second base. Marco Scudero shortstop. 3-inning games. Lose really bad on your losses. Barely win your wins. Yeah. Max Scherzer, 5-1 with a 2.88 ERA. 8 games, 25 innings, 13, 10, and 20. That's a really good balance. 13 hits, 10 walks, so 23, and then 20 strikeouts is really good. I think that's a big reason why they would have one of the top-ranked pitching units in the league. So this one could be interesting because you have the number 2 pitching staff and the number 3 pitching staff battling against each other. See if any or which offense can break through first. Welcome on into game number 3. Figgins takes a swipe at that one, which isn't surprising considering it's the leadoff hitter. And boy, do they love one pitch, one swing, one out. Scherzer gets ahead 0-1. That one's low in the dirt. Figgins really aggressive. That's 0-2. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that thumbs up button. All that good stuff helps the channel and is free and easy to do. Scherzer's ready. Lines and fires. Figgins will put a swing on that. So 3 pitches, 3 swings, 2 strikes, and a foul ball. I guess technically pitch. Well, no. I guess it would be 2 foul balls and a strike. Finally manages to not swing at a pitch. It'll be 1 and 2 after that. And, hey, he'll put a nice swing into that. Scherzer loses that battle. It's a single into center field. Skip Shoemaker. So So nobody out and a runner on first. Yeah, it's a good take by Shoemaker. That one inside for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. That will be hit out towards right field. Does the right fielder have a beat on it? Yes, he does. Good throw in. Ben Zobrist out there with a nice catch. Matt Watson steps in. 6 RBI with a 278 average. If he could have gotten that just a little bit more, like to curve tail off a little more into right, toward that right field corner. Scherzer puts that one into zone. It's 0-1. 1 on, 1 out. He'll check on the runner at first. He's in safe as always. Oh, they're going to put Figgins in motion. That's going to get him 2 second and around to third. That's a really nicely executed hit and run there. That's the second hit that they've gotten. It's right into the same spot to the center fielder. Just 1 out, so 90 feet away from taking the lead here against a top-tier pitching staff. Carlos Quentin, he has 15 RBI. Is he able to cash in number 16 here? Runners on the corners. Anything but the inning-ending double play. Scherzer gets the strike call. That one looked like it was maybe a touch inside, but Scherzer gets the call. It's 0-1. That is swung on and missed for strike 2. Way too aggressive there, Quentin. I guess Scherzer threw that in just competitive enough of a spot to induce the swing. These Houston hitters have been a little aggressive in the early going of this one. We saw that with Figgins specifically. And it's a couple of strikeouts, I think, now on that outside part of the plate. Or outside of the zone, I should say. 2 gone, runners on the corners. The swing goes foul. Well, it'll be 0-1. And that's fouled away as well. Oh my goodness, another swing and a miss on a pitch outside. Scherzer gives up 2 hits, but no damage comes of it. It's no scores. We head to the home half. It'll be led off by Cameron Maben, the designated hitter. Casey McGee at third base. Adrian Gonzalez at first. John Buck at the catching position. Ben Zobrist in right, who's already had a nice grab today. Ryan Roberts at second. Ryan Ludwig in left field. Felipe Lopez at shortstop. Peter Borges in center. So both of the strikeouts that Scherzer had were on pitches that were not really that close, at least from our angle, but again, we are off just a little bit. Otherwise, he had that nice, that fly out to right where Zobrist made a good catch. It'll be Andy Pettit, 5-3 with a 4.63 ERA, 8 games with 23.1 innings, 31-9 and 27. So 40 to 27 hits to walks to strikeouts. Maybe a little high on the hits. It'll be interesting to see if Los Angeles comes out and is as aggressive. Would you see that big number in the hit column for the pitcher? Especially because he's not walking like a ton of guys. So the lefties get set and ready. He'll wind and fire, and that will be a 1-pitch, 1 swing. And the third hit that we've seen in this game, every one of them have been right up the middle to the catcher, to the center fielder, excuse me. That'll bring up Casey McGee. He has a 6-game hitting streak. Ooh, that sounded good, but foul. That is high for a ball. I'm not 100% sure where that one missed. I'll take a look at the live replay here. I thought that might get the... Oh boy. Get back in time. I thought that might have got that high corner, high outside spot, but it didn't. Instead, it's a pretty bad pop out to the first baseman in foul territory. They even worked with the... Tried to work with the hit and run. Couldn't get anything going, though, because of the easy out. I'll put him in motion again. The throw is going to be down and easy tag out. That's me tagging someone out in MLB 11 the show. I gotta wait. Just wait. Get ready for it. Swung on foul. Charge! No score here in the bottom of the first. That pitch misses low. The 1-2 fouled off. Third baseman takes a look, but it's a couple rows back. He'll stay alive. 1-2. Nobody on after the attempted stolen base. And that stays inside for a ball. Flattens out at 2-2. Who thought about swinging? No appeal down to third. And swung on and missed. Takes a little bit of a page out of the playbook of the other pitcher, who is Max Scherzer. He gets the third strikeout we've seen today on a pitch well outside. Billy Butler, he'll step in to lead things off here. Top half of inning number 2. We've seen 3 hits in the game so far. All of them have been to center field. We have seen a few strikeouts in this one, all of them on pitches outside from the same handed hitter. Scherzer covers first, and it's a 1-pitch, 1-swing, 1-out for the Astros. Maybe everybody buckle your seatbelts. We could be going for a while here in Los Angeles. One more game after this. The Mariners take it on the Marlins. That won't confuse me at all. Colby Rasmus. No home runs, but 7 RBI and a few steals so far this season. Well, he'll put a swing into center field, and that'll be a hit. Weird. It's so weird that how all 4 hits have been that. Omar Infante steps up. Batting .288, 10 RBI. That one stays outside for a ball. Good take there by Infante. Those pitches have been very effective for Scherzer, especially with the last couple of outs in the first inning, as the batter's really going for it. That is fouled away. Scherzer, it's always fun to see players who still play. Yeah, there's a couple of them in here. Scherzer might be the most fun because he pitched in the World Series, which is wild. I think Scherzer and Kershaw are the two that kind of jump off the page there. That is a nice location. Inside corner, gets the strike. And it's 2-2. Speaking of twos, Scherzer goes back outside. Infante does a good job to adjust there. Make sure that he's not too aggressive with the swing. Scherzer's like that as the payoff pitch a few times. Instead, this one just fills up the count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runner on first. Should go. And that'll be right back up the middle to center field. Every single hit has been to center. Center fielder's going to come up with the throw, and he will be... Oh, he'll be safe. That must be that stupid animation is just so bad. That has to be what it is. Because the throw has him beat. Yep, it's this animation should be so much smoother. It should be, he should get it. Oh, sorry. Okay, control stick, controller. He should get it and keep the ball low to swipe. Bam, right there. It should just come right across. But he brings it up to his shoulder and then takes the tag. Makes the tag. Swipe attempts. Brutal. Alright, so a bit of a bad break there for the Los Angeles Angels. Might be a good break for your host tonight, though. That is in for a strike on the inside. It's a nice reminder that I need to go get a new PS2 controller. Because boy, are these stick sensitive. That pitch stays outside for a ball. I opened a Mountain Dew and my computer, something disconnected from my computer. What are you talking about? Boom, boom. Must be a loose cord back there somewhere. That'll be hit into right field. And that will score the go-ahead run. What should have been out number 2. It's just so bizarre. Grabs it. Like, just swipe across. Up to the shoulder, down. So that'll bring in Figgins. He had a single. He had a long at-bat. He was really aggressive in that first at-bat. Took a couple pitches, but by and large was swinging. And I believe we just saw the first hit to anywhere other than center field. And he'll take another swing, and that one will go into right field. It's going to get into the corner. How aggressive are they on the base paths? They will send the runner around third. The right fielder throws it to the cutoff. The cutoff is throws a little bit high. They have to go talk to Max Scherzer, who apparently, once he puts his headphones on, you do not talk to him. That was one of the stories that they were talking about. I forget if it was like the World Series or if it was the ALCS or whatever. Or maybe if it was just a podcast that I was listening to where it's like, well, do you talk to Max Scherzer? And they're like, no. When he puts his headphones on, you don't interact with him. They are going to put a runner in motion to third. It's a horrible idea. He is out. He was out by a mile, and I still brought up both my hands to signal safe just in case. So that's a really bad out number 2. That's a runner in scoring position that you have now erased. It's rolled over. That probably would have advanced the runner. Instead, it retires the side. Actually, maybe I don't know if you do. Either way, Houston scores 3, maybe a bit of a fraudulent 3. It's 3-0. Buck, Zobrist, and Roberts coming up for the Angels here in the bottom half of the second. Swung on and missed. So 0-1 to start things off here in the home half of the second. That is hit, foul. As it finally comes back into frame. Where's he going to go? Lefty winds and fires. That is into left field. All the players now choosing to use the rest of the outfield, not just the center field parts of the stadium. The Angels will put a runner on first. Ben Zobrist will come in, or come up to the plate. Zobrist takes a strike. The Angels looking to strike back. That'll be foul up the first base line. Strike 2. O2 is low. Ball 1. Sure, Houston would love nothing more than a double play right here. Really thwart the threat as early as possible. Does Los Angeles get aggressive on the base paths at all? That's foul at the third base line. Count stays 1-2. That's rolled over foul yet again. Looking for a payoff pitch. Yet another 1-2 pitch on the way. And yet another 1-2 pitch fouled off. Lefty fires and gets that high inside corner. Zobrist swings and swings and swings. Kept fouling him off, but took what he thought was going to be ball 2, but instead umpire rings him up for strike 3. I'm going to bring up Roberts. 2 RBI. 239 on the average, it looks like. And these Los Angeles Angels are very aggressive so far. In this inning. That pitch misses low. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. That is hit out to left field. Left fielder takes a look at it, and it's a catch at the wall. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Angels have only been, the Astros have only been able to get the Angels out 1 out at a time. We saw that bite Detroit earlier today. What does the game have in store for us? It's 2 gone. Runner on first. Houston would still be in a lead even if it was a 2-run home run. Oh my goodness. I don't know about that one. That feels like a very generous strike call on the outside. That's low for a ball. Lefty winds and fires. Pop that foul.
That ball's foul.
1-2. 2 gone with a runner on. That one's way inside, moves his feet. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is swung on and hit deep. It is out to right field, but it's caught by the right fielder. Quinton throws it into the stands after making the grab. We will head to the top of the third. Houston 3, Los Angeles nothing. Here on youtube.com/ShaunosaurusRex. Streaming baseball 5 days a week. Matt Watson getting things started here for the Astros. He's 1 for 1 with a single. I thought there were a couple of hits in there that sounded like they might get out of the ballpark. Instead, they're just deep flyouts for Los Angeles, who strands a runner on first. So it'll be up to Scherzer here to keep things at just a 3-0 game. As the Angels get bit a little bit by some of the bad animation in this MLB 11 The Show version. That is outside for a ball. That's fouled away. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled away.
No, that's foul.
Oh, that's foul. And swung on and missed. So, nice job by Scherzer there to just drop it a little bit lower and get the swing and miss. We've seen both teams at times be very aggressive with their swings. A little bit of an auto swing mode there. And it was a competitive pitch. There's no guarantee that it's a ball. And sometimes with some of these Houston swings, it hasn't really needed to be that competitive to get them to go. That pitch is inside. Moves them a little bit, but doesn't get them. 0-1. Or 1-0, excuse me. Got that backwards. That'll be rolled to the shortstop. Scoops it up cleanly, fires over to first on 1 foot and gets out number 2. So Scherzer, a good bounce back inning here after giving up 3 in the previous inning. A couple of quick outs. Looking to keep his team in it. John Hester 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here comes the wind, and the pitch is low for a ball. 1-0. There, we got it right this time. That is rolled over. Shortstop. Oh, he bobbles it. He made a nice play the first time, but couldn't do it the second time. He is safe at first base. Oh, it should have been a routine play, and the Angels defense letting down Max Scherzer a little bit. Billy Butler's 0 for 1. Maybe he'll get another opportunity and a chance to make up for it. Scherzer winds and fires. That's low for a ball. And that's low for a ball as well. 2-0. And that'll be rolled over. Shortstop, another opportunity. He'll go 2 for 3 on his chances. I think he'd take that. I mean, obviously you want it higher, but we had 3 chances in a row. We got 2 of them, which were 2 of the 3 outs that they needed. 3-0 as we'll head to the bottom half. Last chance for the Angels, and it'll be led off by Felipe Lopez. .326 average. See if they can get anything going here against the lefty. That misses inside. 1-0. That gets the zone for a nice strike right there. That is in for a ball. Shakes off his catcher. Here comes the 2-1 from the lefty. That is hit well out to left field, but not well enough as it's a routine play out there. Out number 1. Mariners Marlins coming up next. In Florida, by the way. So, one of the rarer matchups prior to the 2023 season. The lefty is ready. He'll wind and fire. A ball inside. 1-0. Both pitchers really working the inside to the hitters that they're facing. Here comes the 1-0. It's a big curve on the outside. For a strike. 1-1. That'll be hit well, but foul. Slices into the stands. It's 1-2. Bum, 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 bum. That's low. That'll be hit out towards left field again. Left fielder with plenty of time to get to it. And that'll be out number 2. Designated hitter steps in. Last chance for the Angels. They need a couple of base runners and then a blast to keep this game alive. Lefty winds up and fires that one outside for a ball. Pitcher is ready. Winds and fires. Ooh, gets her right at the knees. Strike. Strike 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1. And so strike number 1, so it makes it 1-1. I immediately forgot what the first pitch was. That'll be fouled back to the backstop. Los Angeles down to their final strike, trailing 3-0 in this one. It'll be swung on and missed. Houston gets a bit of an advantage. Thanks to some funky animations, they pick up a victory here in Los Angeles. Houston 3, Los Angeles nothing. That benefits Houston kind of doubly because the Toronto Blue Jays took care of the Pittsburgh Pirates with a walk-off win, so that's a little extra breathing room for them. Now it's a good opportunity for the Mariners to pick up a win against the Marlins. We talk about Andy Pettitte for a moment. 3 innings, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts on the day for him. Pettitte gets his 6th win of the season to improve to 6-3. Scherzer only his 2nd loss. now 5-2 on the year. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, no earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, total batters faced 10. 1 error for the Angels, though it did not bite them in the behinds. So you talk about the Astros and the opportunity that they had. They got a loss from a division foe. They had an opportunity. They came out and got a win. Helps them out a little extra. Mariners now with an opportunity to do the same, as they will be facing off against the Miami Marlins, or Florida Marlins. Let's see. Guardians over the Nationals, 3-2. Phillies over the Orioles, 1-0. The Reds beat the Twins, 3-2. Now both teams 20-22. Diamondbacks beat the White Sox 1-0. Rangers over the Brewers 3-0. Rays beat the Cubs 2-0. Athletics over the Rockies 1-0. And we saw that 3-0 Astros win over the Angels. Royals Dodgers, the only game that we won't that we won't have the score for. Mariners and Marlins. It'll be 2-0 Dodgers in that one, by the way. So with the 30th ranked pitching staff going up against the 10th ranked pitching staff, as we are ready for game number 4. Just going to try and grab that pause real quick. Batting 11th versus 22nd. Advantage Seattle. The defense 6th for Seattle. I didn't catch 26th for the Florida Marlins. And we are ready to get underway with our 4th and final game of the day. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I have a good time broadcasting it. Hopefully you have a good time watching it as I get this thumbnail fixed. So, Mariners 24-16. Florida is 23-18. So we have we have a bunch of AL, NL matchups this week, which is exciting for the next couple of days. Brett Gardner leads things off for the Mariners. He is in left field. Kurt Suzuki behind him at the catching position. Ichiro in right. Aramis Ramirez at third. Travis Hafner at first. Brett Wallace, the designated hitter. Reed Brignac, who was injured but came back because of the All-Star break, doesn't miss much time. He's the shortstop. Ian Kinsler at second. Milky Cabrera in center. Actually saw Kinsler leading off the other day against the Rangers. 2 of the worst pitching staffs in the league were facing each other in that Rangers-Mariners game, and it showed. But the Mariners won, so that was a positive. Jared Weaver, 6-2 with a 3.22 ERA. 8 games, 22.1 innings pitched, 23-9, and I did not catch that last number. 18. Pretty good number of strikeouts. Doubling up the walks, that's a positive. Brett Gardner has 11 stolen bases. When they get him on, they do tend to like to send him. I think that number's a little bit inflated because we saw him steal multiple bases in a game against Detroit earlier this season. So I see that number and I go, wow, that's a lot of stolen bases. And I remember that nearly a quarter of them were in one game. It's like, well, actually, hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Here comes the 1-0. Gardner swings at that one. Fired it foul, and that took a wild bounce back toward the batter. That is inside for a ball. Oops. A couple of games lingering on here. Channel's that on? Nothing. Okay. They'll put that or try to put that into left field, but the shortstop is there for the catch. Kurt Suzuki stepping up, 12 RBI with 3 home runs. I bet he loves having Brett Gardner in front of him. Get him on first, try to steal second. Suzuki puts one in the grass, and bam. 1-0 lead and an RBI for him. Worst case scenario, you go first to third with him. You get Suzuki on, and then Ichiro comes up. And that is into center field. That's how we saw so many hits in the last game. especially early on. I think it would have been so interesting to see how aggressive would the Mariners want to be on the base paths. Ichiro, 5 RBI, 2 stolen bases with a .275 average. That was a strike on the inside. A little bit of a surprising call, but it's 0-1. That's outside for a ball. That gets a strike on the low outside corner. Couple of tough strikes to Ichiro here in this at bat. 1 and 2 with Suzuki on first. And a good eye by Ichiro, and a closer pitch than I thought it was going to be. As it left his hand, it looked like it was going to kind of stay a little more to the outside, but it did start to break back in. Almost got that edge. But it didn't, and it's 2-2. Ichiro will put a charge into that one. It'll be out number 1 at second. Can Suzuki beat it? No, he cannot. I was going to give the safe signal. I don't know what's going on with my hands. Stop using them. It's out number 3, and that will bring up the home half for Florida. No score, 1 hit for Seattle in that top half. Muhammad Haney in center field for the Florida Marlins, leading off. Todd Helton is your designated hitter. Alex Rodriguez at third base. Pat Burrell. He's in left. Garrett Jones in right. Paul Konerko at first. Orlando Cabrera is the shortstop. Jesus Flores is the catcher. Danny Espinosa is at second. So it'll be a right-handed pitcher for the Mariners. Usually Todd Helton gets that 5 spot if it's a lefty up there. And it seems like Haney is a more consistent center field piece at this point of the season for the Marlins. Trevor Cahill, 5-3 with a 3.47 ERA, 8 games, 23.1 innings pitched. No shot for me to read that. No shot. 24, 5, and 11. So a lot of hits. Not a ton of walks, but not getting a lot of strikeouts. Muhammad Haney. Doesn't even have a name in the game. So he will face Cahill. And it'll be a strike on the inside. So maybe it's a touch wide here in this one. Some of those calls to Ichiro were kind of like, I don't know about that. But I guess it's good to see it go both ways. That'll be hit out to right field. Second baseman didn't really have a shot at it, so splits the defense perfectly, and the Marlins have 1 on. There's another hit given up by this Mariners starter, Todd Helton. No home runs, 6 RBI. Batting .277. That's low and inside for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. A big swing and a miss for Helton. Looked like he pulled the string on him a little bit. Try to get that outside part of the plate. 1-1. That is going to get past the diving third baseman. It'll get into left field. They will hold the runners and move station to station. 2 on. Alex Rodriguez batting .313. 6 home runs, 12 RBI. Rodriguez. Not a clean start here for the Mariners starter. Rodriguez takes a ball outside. They chant MVP to Alex Rodriguez. Speaking of, he was a portion of the conversation earlier. Takes that pitch inside for a ball.
Come on, that's one, man.
Fouls that one off.
No, that's foul.
Kind of a gift to the pitcher there. That wasn't. I thought that would maybe be a pitch that would make it 3-0, but instead Alex Rodriguez swings at it, makes it 2-1. Not a great pitch to follow up with that, though, as it is now 3-1. The 3-1 driven into left field. Are they going to send him? They will not. So Seattle really playing with fire here. That funky left field out there in this combined stadium. Oh my goodness. One pitch, one swing, 4 runs. It's a grand slam for the Marlins. And there is nobody out. 4 batters, 4 hits, and now 4 runs crossed. It is Florida 4, Seattle nothing, and really showing why they're the 30th ranked pitching staff in this simulation. That pitch outside for a ball. I wonder if we have kind of one of those ugly games coming. See if he can settle down and get anything going. No, he can't. 2-0. Righty winds, fires that one, gets the strike on the outside. Makes it 2-1. And that's low for a ball. Here comes the 3-1, swung on and missed. That was probably going to be ball 4, honestly. That was a weirdly aggressive swing, especially with how patient he had been the previous 4 pitches. But it also makes sense because the game really likes swinging 3-1. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is going to be lifted over to the third baseman. He will catch it, hopefully. Okay, he will make the catch and it'll be out number 1. Paul Konerko working with a 6-game hitting streak. Is batting .311. He just does not have the command to be working on the edges like that. I think you need to try and work with some contact here. It's maybe not a great point to make or a great suggestion considering that he's giving up his second home run. Oh my goodness. It is 5-0 Florida. This is brutal. Konerko put that one in the seats as it just leaked over the plate and that was gone. I was trying to say, maybe just try to get it in a little bit more and work with some ground balls. But couldn't even finish the sentence before that was nuked to left field. 5-0 Marlins. Thank God they're the home team, huh? That is outside for a ball. He keeps falling behind. He has thrown so many pitches that are 1-0 counts. That's 2-0. He can't find the zone to save his life. That'll be hit out towards left field. Left fielder makes a little jaunt at it, and he misses it. Okay, all right. Well, when it rains, it pours. I mean, we see that animation so often lead to a catch. And then, of course, in a 5-0 game where the Mariners desperately need an out, they cannot get it. Ugh. I'm going to go ahead and call it. It'll be 1-0 after this pitch. Okay, well, you didn't have to do that. I mean, that's what's so frustrating about that animation is it's just like it's... How did he miss that? Okay, well, you could have thrown that and maybe look right. Come on. Swung on and missed. That is low for a ball. Two and two, one gone. And left a curveball. Got down a little bit more, but still driven foul. Just one out here in the bottom of the first. It's 5-0 Florida and a runner on second. Here comes the pitch, and that will get the outside corner of the plate. Batter doesn't agree with it. Maybe should have swung at it. Looked like it was a pretty hittable pitch. The four-seam right at the top of the zone. 91 miles an hour. Cannot leave your at-bat in the hands of the umpire in that situation. Danny Espinosa, 273 average. 2 home runs, 4 RBI. As this inning continues, and that's slapped foul up the third baseline. Here comes the 0-1, the rare time that the pitcher has been ahead of the batter. The runner slides. It's so wild that the runner slides back so. They probably should have talked to him about 5 times by now. Like, hey, throw some pitches that somehow split the difference between missing wildly for a ball and giving a meatball up for a grand slam. See if you can find that middle ground. Here comes the 1-1. It misses low to make it 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. This is for a ball. I thought that pitch was a strike. That one was a ball. That one looked a little more inside. But that previous pitch looked like it was actually a strike at the knees. I mean, obviously, stuff like that doesn't help. It's already been a bad inning for the Mariners anyway. They probably should be out of it, if we're being completely honest. It's surprising that that animation happened when it did. Boy, I thought he was going to rip that one out. Does it stay in play? Third baseman has a beat on it, and finally the inning is over. But not before the Florida Marlins score 5 runs on 6 hits. The only hit that did not come around to score would have been that dropped fly ball. Then they worked a walk to put 2 on. So, it's going to be up to this offense to see if they can come up with something. Or Aramis Ramirez. He'll step in. That'll be hit out towards right field. Right fielder's going to take a peek, but drops before he can get over there. 0-1. And that's 0-2. Quickly 0-2. Oh my goodness. And that is a strikeout. Wow. I don't know if we're going to get a pitch situation, but the ball comes in. It's right at that front knee and looked like low on the back knee. We saw them give him a ball in the previous inning or previous half inning, but that one was a strike. Little inconsistency there. I mean, not that it really matters. I mean, you want to try to get every advantage you can to try and come back in this game, but your pitcher cannot give up a grand slam like that. 4 straight hits. Did they give up a 5th run? Did they even have an out when that 5th run came across the plate? Just ignore that sentence. All right. So it's another out for the Mariners, and it looks like it's going to be a quick and efficient destroying of this team. 2 gone here in the second. And that'll be foul up the first base line. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out. That one's fouled back. And that is low for a ball. Low for a ball as well. Two and two with 2 gone here in the top of the second. I'm surprised that was not called strike 3. Instead, it is ball 3. That fills up the count, and we are ready for a payoff pitch. And that's rolled over. It'll be snagged by the first baseman. Underhand toss to the pitcher, covering the bag. And that will do it. So not a whole lot going on for the Seattle Mariners there in the top of the second. We will head to the bottom half of the second. Helton, Rodriguez, and Burrell coming up as Florida batted around in that first inning. Helton 1 for 1 with a single and a run. I mean, if you go back to that Pirates-Blue Jays game that started things off, that was the result that you were looking for. A bases loaded situation, and then it's a grand slam. Quick out for Helton. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out to center field. And a much more efficient start to the inning for the Mariners. It'd be alarming or hard to have a worse start. Alex Rodriguez 1 for 1. He also a single and a run. Also has a single and a run. That'll be every player. 1, 2, 3. And then fourth will have the home run. 4 RBI in the game. And he'll put a charge into that one. Swung on and mashed into center field. Throws into second. Runner holds at first. And that will be a single for A-Rod yet again. Burrell 1 for 1 grand slam, 4 RBI. That is a strike on the outside, it looks like. I don't think they're calling that on the swing. Can't imagine that they're calling that on the swing. They're going to put the runner in motion. It's going to be a great throw down to second. That was the time to go for it. It's a really bad pitch. I don't think that's not a throw out at all. I think it's just a slider that absolutely got away from him. Either way, the throw is down to second, and it is out number 2. Third baseman can't get to the sliding stop by the shortstop. Is he in time? He is for out number 3. So, 3 up, 3 down, technically for the Marlins. Brignac, Kinsler, and Cabrera coming up for the Mariners. Looking to extend this game a little bit. They need a huge inning. How many runs? They had, what, 4? I think they had a 4-run inning in the last time we saw them against the Rangers. So they would need to outdo that inning. And there's no way that was a strike. Are you out of your mind? What? This umpire has dinner reservations. I gotta go. Like, what are we doing back there? That's a strike. I can understand that. Puts a charge into that one. That's going to get all the way to that 345 marker in right field. The right fielder comes up with it, throws in to the cutoff man who runs it in. It'll be a leadoff double for the Seattle Mariners. Ian Kinsler with an opportunity here to try and get something going. Kinsler takes a ball outside, 1-0. Here comes the wind, and the pitcher fires. That one misses low for a ball. Actually, a little surprising that was called a ball. We've seen that spot be a little inconsistent throughout this game. The Mariners feel like they've been on the wrong end of things. Florida got a couple beneficial calls. That is inside for a ball. It's got to be a 3-0, hands off the controller. Just let it ride. Kinsler takes ball 4 outside. The Mariners put their second runner on. Down by 5 here in the top of the third. Righty. And is swung on and sliced foul. 0-1. Good take there. Maybe 1-1. As I believe the lineup flips over here. This is the 9 hitter. That one misses low. Again, surprised that was a ball and not a strike. Did not catch the name of the batter as they were coming up. And it's 2-1. 2 runners on. We'll put a swing on that one. It'll roll foul. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's outside for a ball. Again, with the way this umpire's been calling the game, I'm surprised at some of these ball calls. Count is full. Pitcher sets and fires. That one's low. That'll walk the bases loaded. So Seattle here with a little bit of an opportunity. If the lineup flips over, which it does, it's Brett Gardner. It's Gardner, Suzuki, and Ichiro coming up. We don't usually see that. I guess the catcher didn't set up as inside as he usually does. But usually when we see a catcher set up on the inside and then it misses out, it's usually a strike. That's an odd sequence of events there. Gardner puts a charge into this one. Right fielder makes the catch, and they will advance the runners from second and third. It'll score a run. So Gardner with a successful at-bat to at least put a run on the board and make it look a little bit better. 5-1. They still need one more base runner before the tying run. But it is Kurt Suzuki who was 1 for 1 with a single. I think Ichiro hit into a double play to end that first inning. 5-1 Marlins, excuse me. I knew I was gonna get it backwards at some point. That pitch misses low for a ball. Again, surprising. You look at that and you just go, that's been a strike in weird spots. But it's ball 1. Righty winds and fires. Suzuki smashes that up the middle to center field. Good base running for the Mariners as they hold the runner at second. It'll be a run-scoring single. Ichiro now the tying run. He only has 1 home run this season. Can he double that total and tie this game? Oh for 1 today. Ichiro with a good eye to take that pitch outside for a ball. 1-0. That one's upstairs for a ball. Ichiro's going to dump that into left field. It's going to get all the way to the wall. They'll at least send 1. Slides into third. The tying run is Ichiro at second. That one, it was way above the third baseman's glove. I'm a little surprised that the runners kind of hesitated a little bit. And I'm a little surprised as to why. I feel like they should have had a better read off the bat, but it didn't matter. They were probably just going to get 1 run anyway. But now here's the go-ahead run at the plate. Still just 1 gone. That's the strike that I've been kind of waiting for it to get called. Pitcher readies and fires. That is, he thought about it. Did he go? No. So it'll be a ball outside. 1-1 the count here. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Oh my goodness, I think he's going to want that one back. Not that he was necessarily going to drive it out of the park, but that was a good opportunity to put a good swing on it. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. It is high. It almost looked like he almost ducked into the ball there. That one's low. 3-2 now. We're looking at a payoff pitch here. We are indeed. The righty brings the glove up, sets, fires, fouled away. So we'll see another payoff pitch. That was a decent pitch to swing at. I mean, just make sure that it's not too far inside, that it's a bad swing. Fouls it off and stays alive. And he swings and misses at that. It'll be out number 2. Well, he was a little bit late on it. It was a pitch on the outside. Travis Hafner 0 for 1. What did we see San Francisco do earlier today? That's right. They used 1 out at a time to get ahead of the game. Ahead in the game, I should say. That's what that's all Florida's been able to do, is 1 out at a time. Hafner puts a swing into this one. I don't think it's going to have enough. It will not. The Mariners make it interesting toward the end, but they had such a bad pitching performance in the first inning. It was going to be a very difficult mountain to climb. The Marlins win this one 5-3. And did the Athletics win today? Because they're in contention in the American League West. The Angels lost. The Marlins pick up a nice victory. They use a real strong first inning to propel themselves to a victory. Pat Burrell, unsurprisingly, your player of the game. He doubles his home run total. Gross. 1 for 2 and a grand salami. Jared Weaver gets the win. He is now 7-2. Trevor Cahill gets the loss 5-4. Canerco's 5th. Burrell's 2nd. And that will do it from Florida. And that'll do it for today's stream. Tonight's stream. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it. As we load in, we got to get caught up on that one last score. I think it was Dodgers over the Royals, but we'll just go ahead and grab it. Was indeed the Dodgers over the Royals, 2-0. The Athletics did win, so that's a good day for them. So yeah, homie, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your Mass Effect playthrough. All right, let's get this saved. I'll give you my little outro speech, and we'll get the heck on out of here. Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell if you'd like to be notified when I post new videos. We got a new taste test going up tomorrow. We'll have this back on Sunday. We stream this 5 times a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Check out the stream that went up this morning. It was a basketball deck builder. Be back on Sunday afternoon streaming. We'll stream this Sunday night. And that about does it. Thank you again so much for watching. Good sports. Go Mariners. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Goodbye.